what I wanted to walk through today is really the key to how to survive your breakup. And what I believe that to be is self-coaching. So self-coaching is a concept that's very interesting. And as a coach, it's funny, a lot of people ask me, well, why are you teaching me how to self-coach? If you're a coach, wouldn't you want to have clients, things like that? But I think there's a whole nother level to that. I want to help my clients learn how to self-coach themselves for when I'm not around. And I think breaking through a breakup and surviving a breakup has a lot to do with self-coaching and changing your mindset around things versus just treating symptoms, but really getting to the root cause, which is your mind, to help you get through that breakup and not only survive it, but thrive from it and create a story that really serves you in your life and propels you. So today I wanted to take a second to not only introduce you to the concept of self-coaching, but also help you understand how to do this. And so today I want to introduce you to the model. And this is a tool that we use in self-coaching where this was actually created by someone called Brooke Castillo at the Life Coach School. And the model is really built off of your circumstances don't cause your feelings and your results in your life, but it actually, it's caused by your thoughts. And so I want to walk through it today. So you have your circumstances. Your circumstances are facts. They're always neutral. And these are the things that everyone in the world would agree upon, such as the sky is blue, someone said X, Y, and Z. And then you have your thoughts. Your thoughts are just sentences in your mind. And so a lot of times we do something called a thought download where we write everything out. It's a lot like journaling, and just get everything out on pieces of paper. And I like to separate the facts from the actual sentences going on in your brain. So what are the facts of the situation versus the sentences in your brain? Your thoughts create the way that you feel. And your feelings are emotions. So like a one-word emotion: happy, sad, angry, frustrated, empowered, inspired, sympathetic, compassion. There are so many feelings in the world, and what's really awesome is once you embrace this model, you'll recognize that your thoughts create your feelings create your actions, and your actions create your results. So ultimately, you can generate any feeling in the world based off of the thought that you're thinking, which is super exciting. So here you have your thoughts, which are just sentences in your brain. You have that create your feelings, so the one-word emotion. And then your feelings create actions, and these are things that you do or don't do based off of the way that you feel. So your actions create results in your life, and the results are, tangible things that have taken place in your life that you've created. But this is the model. Again, your circumstances are not what cause your results in your life or the way that you feel, but it is your thoughts. So your thoughts create your feelings create your actions, and your actions create your results. Super important. So let's go ahead and work through one together. So here, we always start with an unintentional model. These are things that you're just thinking on automatically, subconsciously. So let's go ahead and work through this based off of my breakup. We'll just go back to what I was thinking, and I'll work through what this looked like for me. So my circumstance, we want to get this as factsy as possible. So we really need to see it in a neutral light. And so what is the circumstance here? It was the end of a 6.5-year relationship. And then things that took place after that relationship. So for example, let me think. He posted a photo. So I'm going to posted photo of him and other girl. And so those are facts. Those are things that everyone would agree upon. We dated for 6.5 years, and there was a photo posted. Oh, we can even get even more factsy, like 1 month after breakup. Okay, so one of the thoughts that I had that comes to my mind is, my thought about this situation is, he never loved me, because if you loved someone, you wouldn't move on that quickly. So I'm going to write that down here. I was making that circumstance mean something, and that was my interpretation of that circumstance. Something interesting here is your thought is always a choice. This was a choice that I was choosing to think this thought. And so this thought for me was causing a lot of pain. The feeling that it triggered always was betrayal. And so when I was feeling betrayed, the actions that I would take was I would like gossip about it. I would talk about it with my friends all the time. I like wouldn't drop the subject. I would like obsess over it in my mind. What those actions led to is actually that, I didn't love myself, and I'm not allowing myself to move on. I wasn't allowing myself to move on. So I was staying in stagnation. And so here, let's just walk through this model really quickly. So my circumstance is the end of a 6.5-year relationship. Person posted a photo of him and another girl 1 month after the breakup. That I interpreted that circumstance as he never loved me because he wouldn't have moved on so quickly, which made me feel betrayed. And when I felt betrayed, I took action of gossiping with friends and family, obsessing over it. And then my action led to a result of not loving myself and not allowing myself to move on. And what's interesting here, and like I said before, is your result will always prove your thought correct. It will always prove that and provide evidence for your thought. And one thing that I always tell people to check with their models, two different things. One, is your circumstance neutral? And then secondly, did I recognize that this thought that I was choosing was a choice, and that choice was causing me so much pain, and it wasn't serving me because it wasn't getting me a result that I wanted in my life? So I always ask myself, one, is the circumstance neutral? And two, is that thought, do I recognize that that thought is a choice? Once we have our unintentional model, I like to go ahead and look at an intentional model. So an intentional model is something that it's almost like your before and after model. It's what do you want to feel? What do you want your result to be? You don't always want to move into an intentional model right away, but sometimes I would like to just play with it and be like, what could this look like? What would this be like if I thought something different? So here you can see my circumstance stays the same. End of a 6.5-year relationship, posted a photo 1 month after the breakup. So my next question to myself was, how do I want to feel about the circumstance? And how do I want to feel about this whole situation in general? And really the feeling that I was wanting to have was gratefulness and feeling grateful for the experience. So I went ahead and put grateful here. And when I did that, I was like, when have I felt grateful in the past, and what kind of thoughts did I have around that? And so the thought that I had come up with that worked for me was everything happened for a reason, or everything happened the way it was supposed to. Anyhow, I would think the thought, everything happened the way it was supposed to. So when I would think about this circumstance, I finally recognized that my thoughts were a choice. And I could either sit and choose to spend energy on the thought that came to my mind around he never loved me, or I could choose to think about the thought everything happened exactly the way it was supposed to, which provided me with a feeling of gratefulness, which led to actions of like meditating, doing more models, sharing my experience with everyone, creating, thinking really awesome thoughts about like my past with him and the things that we did do that I really enjoyed and like loved. And again, it would just create even more gratefulness on top of it, which is so funny, right? Because our minds are literally trying to provide evidence to make this thought true. And so literally that's what my mind was doing. It would like think about the times that made me so grateful to have those moments with him, and it was just perpetuating this on top of each other. And so when I had these different actions, it led to results such as everything happened for me. Is really all that it was. My intentional model, these are the thoughts that I got to that were getting me really great results and giving me a feeling that I really appreciated and like loved. And this all kind of came from the self-coaching, the model. So this is why I wanted to teach this tool. I think it's super beneficial in terms of trying to get through a breakup and surviving your breakup. And again, not only surviving, but like thriving, right? We don't want to just like survive the breakup, but we want to fucking thrive. And it's so important that you don't only treat the symptoms, such as like working out, traveling, gaining new experiences, not drinking. You have to treat the root cause. And I promise you, if you don't treat the root cause, it will show up in your next relationship because you'll bring that stuff with you. So, anyhow, if you have more questions about the model, or if you want to work through one with me at any point in time, feel free to reach out for a free mini session and we will tackle it together. All right, thanks. Bye.